The irony, y'all. Kim Menzies, or Menzies, wanted to adopt a child with Usman, but hid her two adoptions for years. The irony of it all. Let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all the y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice.
Have you ever watched something, heard something, and it kind of went over your head? But then while you are washing dishes or folding clothes, thoughts come to your mind. And you're like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Or, whoa, I just remembered that. Well, that's what I just did with Kimberly Menzies from 90 Day Fiance. The irony of it all. Let's go down memory lane. I want y'all to go down memory lane with me and let's have this discussion. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. Everything that I am going to be saying is my opinion, and it is based on public videos, interviews, whatever. These are just my opinions, and nothing is factual except for that which is factual, and everything else is my opinion and allegedly. So, let me tell you where my thought pattern was. I had to go back and think about 90 Day Fiance. As I have said many times, I've been doing this and covering this for a long time. And I recognize that Kim became one of the most talked about women in the 90 Day Fiance universe because of her story mixed with heartbreak, depression for love or desperation for it, family trauma, internet controversy, and eventually one of the biggest personal bombshells that this franchise has aired in years. When we first met Kim during 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, she traveled to Tanzania to pursue a Nigerian musician by the name of Usman Umar, better known as Soldier Boy. Before Kim entered the picture, Usman had already become infamous in the franchise because of his chaotic marriage to baby girl Lisa. Do y'all remember that? That immediately made viewers suspicious of his intentions with Kim. Kim, at that time, openly admitted she had been a fan of Usman before becoming romantically involved with him. Earlier on, um, all of us watched her fly overseas carrying expensive gifts for him, including a laptop and a PlayStation 5. And that triggered criticism online, with many accusing Usman of using her financially and emotionally. But at that time, what made Kim stand out immediately was how emotionally invested she had became in this relationship. She repeatedly talked about how badly she wanted love after years of pain from her previous relationship. Kim explained that Jamal's father had cheated on her constantly during their long relationship, and she later went on to say that there were so many. Kim described herself as a deeply loyal and said that her betrayal, the betrayal from Usman, I guess in the past husband, destroyed her confidence and trust in relationships. That emotional insecurity became one of Kim's biggest storyline during her relationship with Usman. At first, Usman refused to officially even call Kim his girlfriend. The show captures several uncomfortable moments, right? Very uncomfortable moments, if I must say so, where Kim appeared to be pressuring him emotionally and physically for affection. One of the most controversial and talked about moments came when she became visibly upset because Usman would not sleep with her. Do y'all remember that? All of us and many other viewers online accused her of acting entitled to intimacy, and many people felt the situation would have been viewed much differently if the genders were probably reversed. But even Kim later admitted some of her behavior was uncomfortable and embarrassing to watch. In recent interviews, she acknowledged that she did things she regretted while chasing validation and affection from Usman. Let me bring him up. Let me bring him up. Okay. Despite all of the chaos, Kim and Usman eventually became an official couple. She proudly referred to herself as his girlfriend. Okay. And defended him constantly online. She insisted that the viewers misunderstood their connection and claimed that Usman truly cared about her. At one point, I believe that Kim even said that she would do it all over again despite the backlash. And the irony of all of it is that Kim, at that time, wanted to adopt a baby with Usman. Do y'all remember that? One reason many viewers connected with Kim was her close relationship with her mother, Sally. Rest in peace. Kim lived with and cared for her mother during filming, and leaving to visit Usman caused major anxiety because Sally's health was declining. Her mother became a fan favorite because she was blunt, funny, and protective of Kim. And then tragedy struck. In 2022, Sally passed away, and Kim publicly shared how devastated she was, calling her mother her best friend and number one supporter. And during that same period, Kim's relationship with her son Jamal, okay, became increasingly important to the audience. Jamal quickly became one of the most popular side characters or sidekicks in his franchise, and still is because of his calm personality, humor, and his protective attitude towards his mothers. And of course, we all like looking at him and watching him appear on Pillow Talk. And we liked him because he would give honest reaction to Kim's relationship decisions. And Kim often described Jamal as her greatest accomplishment and said, I would lay down in the streets and die for him. Jamal, however, never fully trusted Usman. He questioned whether Usman genuinely loved his mother or simply enjoyed the exposure and gifts. Many fans agreed with Jamal and praised him for trying to protect him from being manipulated. And that relationship became even more complicated when Usman revealed he still wanted children. Are y'all with me? Something difficult because Kim was older and could not have more biological children. In one of the strangest storylines, hindsight being 2020, Kim seriously discussed the possibility of Usman taking another wife in Nigeria so he could have children while still remaining married to her. The storyline shocked viewers and became heavily debated online. At another point in the season, discussions emerged about adopting Usman's nephew. And that idea confused many of us because it appeared to blur cultural traditions, immigration issues, and family dynamics into an already seemingly unstable relationship. While we watched that situation and it be discussed on the show, the relationship eventually collapsed before any long term arrangements happened. Y'all, throughout that relationship, critics accused Kim of ignoring obvious red flags because Usman frequently appeared emotionally distant from her, focused squarely on his music career, and he was absolutely reluctant to even fully commit to her. But in the meantime, Kim seemed willing to accept most anything just to keep the relationship alive. Eventually, the relationship ended. Even though Kim was heartbroken, many viewers felt relieved because they believed the relationship had become emotionally unhealthy and unstable for Kim. But the biggest twist, and I mean the biggest twist, in Kim's entire 90-day journey just so happened to not involve Usman at all. This year, Miss Kim returned on 90 Day, the single life, and revealed a secret she had hidden for more than 30 years. Jamal is not my only child. In this season, Kim confessed that before Jamal was born, she had placed two children up for adoption, a son named Larry and a daughter who recently has been identified as R, although her full identity remains unknown. According to Kim, get closer, y'all. Come on closer. According to Kim, she became pregnant while serving in the military. She explained that Jamal's father wanted her to terminate the pregnancy, I believe, but she could not do it. Feeling emotionally unprepared and financially unstable, she chose adoption instead. not once, but twice. Years later, her biological son, Larry, located her through a DNA ancestry website. But instead of Kim immediately telling Jamal the truth, Kim panicked. She admitted she handled the situation terribly and even pretended to be Jamal while communicating with Larry online before revealing the truth. Jamal, in a recent episode, described the situation as completely destroying part of his trust in their relationship. And this revelation seemed to have changed the way many fans view Kim, including myself. While some people sympathize with her pain and fear as a young woman making impossible choices, others like me criticized her for keeping the secret for Jamal for years and basically for decades, and for catfishing, using Jamal to communicate with his newly found brother and only revealing it later on. So that fallout between Kim and Jamal became one of, I think, the rawest, real, let me say real, rawest emotional storylines that this franchise has ever shown us. I'm sure Kim will get a spinoff. Well, I'm not sure, but I think so. I'm like 80-20 on it. Jamal revealed he had actually known about one adopted sibling since he was around 12 years old because he overheard conversations between Kim and his grandmother. But he only recently discovered that Larry existed. And so Jamal appeared deeply hurt, y'all, not only by the secret itself, but by the years of dishonesty surrounding it. Kim later on admitted she regretted how she handled everything and said she felt finally free after revealing the truth publicly. Isn't that amazing? How Kim feels free, not because she exposed it, but because she got exposed. Think about that. This isn't something she took upon herself to say, I'm going to be honest about something. This, in my opinion, is something that she's always forced to do. The show later followed Kim reconnecting with Larry and learning she was technically already a grandmother who didn't want to be judged, by the way. She also began trying now to locate her daughter. Don't know if that's a storyline or if that's authentic. Anyway, during one emotional episode, Kim received a 10-page letter written years earlier from her daughter's adoptive mother describing her daughter's childhood. Another reason why Kim remains controversial is because many viewers feel she often swings between emotional vulnerability and dramatic impulses. And basically, watching her over the years, fans have criticized her for one, chasing younger men, two, ignoring obvious warning signs, three, emotionally pressuring partners, four, oversharing personal family trauma on TV, and five, making decisions based on loneliness rather on stability. But at the same time, a lot of viewers appreciate that Kim eventually became more self aware than many of the other 90-day cast members. And like some of them who doubled down on their behavior, Kim has publicly admitted mistakes and apologized for several uncomfortable moments for earlier seasons. Some may say that today Kim has evolved from being Usman's superfan girlfriend into something deeper. Her current storyline centers less on chasing international romance, although she is chasing an international romance, and more on rebuilding trust with Jamal, reconnecting with the children she gave up for adoption, and trying to figure out who she is outside of desperate relationships. Some would say that emotional shift is why many 90-day viewers now see Kim as one of the franchise's most layered and tragic reality TV figures. Someone who spent years searching for love and still is, while carrying enormous secrets and unresolved pain underneath the surface. And I started this off with the irony. Let's talk about irony. Irony means something happens that is the complete opposite of what people would expect. Usually, irony involves contradiction, unexpected truths, or hypocrisy. Let me give y'all a simple example of irony, right? A firefighter house burns down. Why? Because you'd expect a firefighter to be protected from fire. That's the irony. But let me apply that to Kim's case. In my opinion, here's the irony with Kim. And these are my opinions. Kim wanted to adopt and raise a child with Usman. But we later learned that she had children she placed for adoption and kept that secret for years. At least 30 some years, because Larry is what, 38? He's older than Jamal. And so is his sister. I consider this ironic because someone focused on creating and raising a family, or raising Usman's family member, was also carrying unresolved pain and secrecy about her original family. So, my thought is, wait, how did this happen? How did you want to adopt a child, or was willing to adopt a child, when you gave up two for adoption? That's the irony in this. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat what you all think about this. Is this irony? And what do you think about Kim? Be nice. Be nice. But say what you got to say in the comments. Because this is just something I had on my mind. And I just wanted to share it with you all. Let me know what you think downtown in the comments section. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And turn your notification bells on so that when I go live, you go live with me.